Hi there, it's Megan Huber, and welcome to session 1 of our 5-day workshop, Launching Made Easy. I am so excited to kick things off with you today. So come on in to the live. If you are here with us right now, announce yourself. Let me know where you're joining from. I would love to know from what part of the world, what country, what continent, or what state in the US you are joining us from. So go ahead and give me some love. Let me know that you are here. Let us know where you are joining us from if you're here live. And obviously, if you are one of our replay watchers, I want to also welcome you. I know not everyone can be here at 1 o'clock Eastern time each day, but just know that you are going to have the best experience. You're going to feel like you're here live with us. Even if you're watching the replay, I really want to encourage you to just pretend that you are actually here with us live so that you really have that full experience too. And every single day, I'm going to be jumping back into the Facebook group, checking the comments, looking to see what your questions are. So if you are unable to attend live, know that myself and my team, we're still going to be checking in with you just as much as we are checking in with our live viewers. So let me see who's here. Go ahead and say hello. I'm looking at the comments and I'm looking to see where everybody is from. And I am using Be Live. I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but literally Facebook totally is doing some wonky business this morning. So I may, let me go to the Facebook group really quick and refresh so that I can also see who is commenting. Okay, I see you. Hey, Leah, good to see you. Hey, Leanne from Canada. Leah, aren't you from Canada too? Jackie, Virginia. Yes, Canada, I see. Awesome. Okay, so I can see your comments coming in over here. Jacksonville, Florida. Deb, I am in Florida too. I'm on the West Coast though. I'm on the Gulf, right outside of Clearwater in Dunedin. So come on in. I can see everybody piling on. We've got Virginia, we've got Canada, we've got Quebec, we've got a lot of Canadians. We've got Florida. Who else is here? Go ahead and tell us where you're from. Tell us where you're joining us from. Awesome. Hey, Camille, good to see you. So glad to have you. We've got hundreds of people signed up for this. So you are in fabulous company. Let's go ahead and dive in. I don't want to waste any time. Today, I'm going to make a few announcements just so everybody's on the same page about how the week is going to roll, what you have access to. I want to tell you a little bit about the support that you're going to have access to all week. So let's start there, and then we're going to dive into today's training portion of the session, and I will have you in and out of here in 60 minutes. I'm going to stick to my time this series, so we'll be out of here in 60 minutes. So let's start with some of the housekeeping pieces first, just so we're all on the same page. So every day this week, Monday through Friday, that is the bulk of the teaching and the training. So I'm going to teach you A to Z, my Launching Made Easy framework. We're going to break down each of the core pillar components of that system between now and Friday. So you want to make sure you are either here live or you are catching the replay so you do not miss one of those components, because every single component plays a really critical role in the whole entire system working really, really effective for you. So I'm going to go live each day this week at 1 p.m. Eastern time for 60 minutes. So go ahead and put that in your calendar. If you know you're unable to attend live, then I highly recommend you look at your calendar and go ahead and schedule the replay time. So whether that is early morning for you or after you put the kids to bed at night and you want to watch the replay at 9 o'clock at night, or if you want to catch a couple of replays all at one time towards the end of the week, whatever's going to work for you. Here's what we know to be true. Whatever we decide we're going to commit to, we have time for, because we are the creators of our time. So if it's in the calendar, it's going to get done, especially if it's a priority. And I promise you that for those of you who decide to implement this process and master it, which means you're going to implement it and you're going to commit to it and you're going to repeat this same system over and over and over again in your business, this has the potential to not only add 5 figures, but to add 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, and even 7 figures over a period of time, obviously, to your business from this one strategy that I'm going to teach you that's going to help you fill your flagship coaching program in your business. So obviously you are probably going to have other streams of income and other programs that you're offering, but my promise to you is that I'm going to teach you that process this week. So really be thinking about all week long and making the decision about implementing this process in your business, because it absolutely works. So that is what the week is going to look like. Also, if you are physically registered for this event, meaning like you went to the opt-in page, you plugged in your name and your email on that page, then you are also getting a bonus training with me and my head success coach in our Momentum program, which is my flagship program at our company. We are going to do a training with you on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. It will be on Zoom. You're going to get to see everybody. We're going to train on scaling your flagship group without sacrificing client experience, client results, or your freedom, because that is actually, believe it or not, and some of you may have this, those two things are two of the biggest objections that people have in their business when they start looking at creating a flagship group program. Are my clients going to lose the experience of intimacy? Are fewer people going to get really outstanding results? And am I going to literally be like tied to my group just like I was tied to one-on-one coaching? So we feel like at Team Momentum, we have really mastered the art of being able to scale without sacrificing those things. So Elizabeth will be joining me Wednesday night at 7 p.m. You will get an invite for that in your email, and you will get the Zoom link, because it is not going out to just anybody who happens to be in this Facebook group. It is a bonus gift for you for actually registering for this. So if you are excited about that training, let me know in the comments. If you've got any questions about that topic, put that in the comments as well. We'll go back and read those. Also on Friday, after our 1 o'clock session on Friday, we're going to have a series of bonus sessions for you. And I will actually let you know that schedule closer to the end of the week. For those of you who would love to continue the journey with us for a few more days, I have some really epic bonuses planned for you. In fact, the one I can share with you is our Friday bonus. So if you want to mark your calendar, live or replay, at 4 o'clock Eastern time on Friday of this week, my entire team Momentum is going to show up for a live training session with you. It's not really going to be a training. We're not going to teach you a whole lot of things. It's really a time for you to get to meet the whole entire team. I've got 4 team members who help facilitate and run our Momentum program, which is my flagship program. So you're going to get to see their faces. You're going to get to hear about their stories, their expertise, the role they play in Momentum. We'll have a lot of fun. I mean, if you even want to bring like a glass of wine or some tea and have a bit of a happy hour with us, come to that. I think you'll really, really enjoy that. So that will be on Friday. And all these videos are going to come down on Tuesday, September the 29th at midnight. So if you are a replay watcher, this is why you want it in your calendar, because we take these videos down. Everything comes down at midnight on Tuesday, September the 29th. And this training is world-class. So it is implementable. It is action-oriented. You are getting like a full-blown training like you are getting in paid programs in this free training series. So make sure you are scheduling time to catch all of these, because they are going to come down. Also, each day, Monday through Friday, you are going to have an action item to complete at the end of each training. So it will be something that goes along with our training so that I can really help you get into motion and get in momentum in the direction of implementing this system in your own business. So make sure you are completing those each day. They're really simple. It's not going to take you a lot of time, but I do ask that you be really dedicated and committed to going all in. If you're going to show up, take the action steps at the end of each training on your own time. And we will make a post every day in the group following when I go live. And there will be a green, like a teal colored graphic. It will say action item 1, action item 2, action item 3, so on and so forth. And it will probably tag you too. I know not everybody loves to be tagged, but I also find that it's very easy to miss things in Facebook groups. It can be hard to find the replays, hard to find those action item posts. So we are going to lovingly tag you so that it is easier for you to find those. So be on the lookout for that. A couple of other items before we dive in. You also have a handy dandy workbook. It's like one of my most favorite things to create. You know, I was a former teacher. Here's your workbook. It is 25 pages. This went out in a few emails. There was an 11 a.m. and a 12:30 p.m. email that went out to you today if you're registered. So go grab that. I highly recommend that you print this out and take notes on paper. If you don't have a printer, then I suggest you get out some paper and you take notes on paper versus typing. There's a lot of science behind that, actually. So you've got your workbook. Follow along with this the entire time. I do not stray from the literally that I'm speaking from are literally just the boxes filled in that you have got in front of you right now. So you have that workbook. If you have not seen the workbook or you need the workbook, then either reach out, or actually, if you don't have a workbook and you need one, just type the word workbook in the comments. Type the word workbook in the comments, and either Joshua, her name will show up as Joshua Team Huber, either Joshua or Elizabeth will get that over to you via private messenger. So if you are not friends with Joshua or Elizabeth, it's going to go to that message request box. So make sure you look at that. One last thing, I think, and then we're done with announcements here. You have your own private, or not really private, personal, private, exclusive, whatever word you want to use, success coach all week long. Her name is Elizabeth Galprin. She has friend requested as many of you as we could figure out from the sign up sheet with your email, as many of you who we could like kind of connect the dots and we know who you are on Facebook. So Elizabeth has sent you a friend request so that it makes it easier for you to see the private messages that she's going to send you. And she's also sent you a private message. If you're not friends with her, then that message is in your message request box in Messenger. So she's going to be communicating with you. She's already sent as many people as she could a message this weekend if we could figure out who you were on Facebook. So go check that. And then she's going to be checking in with you periodically to find out what support you need, what your takeaways are, what you're getting out of this series. If you have any questions for her, you can ask her. But this is really a full experience here. So I want you to dive in. I want you to be available to receive the full experience that we are here to give you, and just really be highly engaged, participatory, show up, learn. And most of all, I really want to encourage you to start imagining yourself and seeing yourself as the leader who has a flagship group program in your coaching business that you are launching and filling and scaling your sales, really positioning your brand in the top in your marketplace. Because here's what we know to be true. If we cannot actually see something in our mind, then we are probably not going to go out and create it. So all week long, I really want to encourage you to start seeing in your mind's eye, to start imagining and start visualizing, seeing yourself implement the launch system that I'm going to teach you here. And I really want you to tap into your future flagship program in your business. You know, if you can look a year out, if you can look 2 years out, 3, 5, some people can even see 10 to 20 years down the road. How many people do you see serving in your flagship program? How many people do you see? What was the first number that popped into your head? And if you want to write that in the comments, go ahead and do that. What is your big vision for this flagship program that you desire to create in your business? Because here's what we've really found out from all the different ways that I've worked with people, from all the different ways I have been a client and other people's courses, self-studies, group programs. I've run a lot of programs in my day in the last 9 years. And what I've really found to be true is that the majority of the people in your community, the majority of the people who become your client, when I say majority, I'm talking 70 to 80%, in order for them to receive the truest, deepest transformation that you are on this planet to provide people, to help people with, to mentor them through, to lead them and coach them through. 70 to 80% of your clients actually need your core offer. They actually need your flagship program versus buying a bunch of self-study courses, buying your $1,000 course, buying your one-time something that costs $297. Again, what we've all kind of heard, if you've been in this industry for a little while, is that the completion rate of a course that has little to no accountability, little to no accessibility to the coach or the coaching team, little to no structure, little to no support or systems in place, the completion rate of that is around 3 to 5%. So sure, we can make a lot of money doing that. We can make a lot of money selling things that cost $97. We can make a lot of money selling things that cost under $1,000. But I'm really here to speak truth in life into the coach, into the mentor, into the leader, into you who is in the transformational space and really cares about your craft, really cares about your clients, really cares about the results and the experience, as well as the progress that your clients are going to make. And we're really giving our clients the absolute best opportunity to maximize what's possible for them when they are in a really, really strong container, meaning our program, where we are spending a lot of our time, effort, attention, and energy in the development and in the delivery of that program with those clients versus having like 8 different offers with 52 different price points. So I really want you to not only think about the launching system, which really and truly could be used for any program in your business, but I also really want you to start visualizing yourself being the leader of a flagship coaching program in your business. And I would love to hear from you as well. I want to get to know you as much as I possibly can this week. Some of you I already know. Some of you are brand new to me. And maybe you just heard my name two days ago. Some of you I have known from past experiences, and we just have not kept in touch over the last couple of years. So maybe you have gone in a new or different direction. So just really briefly, if you'll put in the comment section, and I'll go check it out now as you're typing this in, what are the offers that you have in your business right now? So I don't need a whole lot of details. So keep it really simple and super direct. So do you predominantly do one-on-one coaching? If so, just type in one-on-one coaching. If you predominantly have like a lower price point course business, type in courses. If you do already run group coaching programs, then type in groups. If you have a combination of a few of those, like let's say you've got half your business is one-on-one clients and the other half of your business is a group, just put in one-on-one coaching and groups. So I would love to get a gauge on where you're at in terms of the offers you currently have and deliver and sell in your business, because it really helps me see where everyone is at. And the cool thing about this whole system, Launching Made Easy, is that I can really course correct my training so that it is even more in alignment with who is showing up to our training series every day. So I'm already seeing a lot of groups. I'm seeing a lot of combination of one-on-one and group. I'm seeing, okay, small 6-week groups one-on-one. I've been doing one-on-one, but I want to create a group. Awesome. Lots of one-on-one group fitness classes and one-on-one personal training. Okay, I'm seeing a whole lot of combination of one-on-one and group. That's perfect. All right, so, I mean, based on what you all are telling me, 4 different one-on-one offers, by the way. Okay, good to know. You will find, if you don't know me super well yet, I am the queen of simplicity. So kind of the name of the game for me, and I honestly do believe, because I've done it myself, I believe that your fastest path, and when I say fast, I don't mean overnight success. I am not your instant gratification mentor. I am not quick cash and just like run and go to the beach. It's just not my style. I believe that your fastest path to a 7-figure coaching business is simplicity. So a lot of what you're going to hear me talk about is simplicity. And that really is in simplicity of your business model. It is the simplicity of your offers. It is the simplicity of the way in which you are marketing and selling your offers, and the way in which you're positioning yourself as a leader in the marketplace, even down to your brand recognition and your brand positioning. It really is all about simplicity and sticking to the systems, meaning being on board to repeat to a very high level of mastery. I think we can all agree that over the years that all of us have been in this industry, we have probably been, I'm not going to say victim to, but we have probably had our own personal experience where we have tried so many different things. And if something didn't work the first time, then we moved on to the next thing. And I think a lot of us probably experience that more in you tend to experience that a little bit more in the very beginning stages of your business, those first few years, trying to get to your 6 figures. But then you also see it with people who are trying to get to 7 and multiple, and you look at their business model and they have like 8 different offers. And they've got 42 different tactics and strategies that they're deploying, and they're not actually profiting very high. I'm also a really big fan of higher profit and keeping more profit in your pocket. So we're going to talk a lot about simplicity. Again, I really want to empower you for this week to make yourself available to look at the most simple path, because the most simple path for you to reach whatever your goal is, whether it's multiple 6 figures or 7 figures or 8 figures, your most, your fastest path to that is going to be simplicity, and also deploying things in your business that are sustainable. We see a lot of people who are launching in the traditional, whatever that means, internet marketing way. And we hear a lot of people talk about burnout. We hear a lot of people talk about how tired they get. We hear a lot of people talk about how they're sacrificing so much time with their spouse and their children because of the way that they're launching. We hear a lot of people who have to go on a sabbatical or a hiatus from their business for 3 to 6 months because they've so worn themselves out and their team out from the launch cycle that they have been implementing. We see once you get to a level where you've got numerous team members, you start to see a revolving door of some of your top talent because of the way that you are in whatever type of launch cycle that you're in. So that's not what I'm here to talk to you about. I'm not going to teach you a strategy that's going to burn you out or cause you to have to work 15 hours a day or cause you to have to go on a sabbatical for 6 months. I am going to talk to you about simple. I am going to talk to you about sustainable. I'm going to talk to you about smart. I'm going to talk to you about mastery and excellence. But the pathway to that is really simplicity. So let's go ahead and dive into page 3 of your workbook. So this is part 1. It says part 1 at the top of your page. And I'm going to share with you the top core pillars, 4 of them actually, that really make the Launching Made Easy framework or this launch system relatively unique and different from perhaps a lot of the other ways that you have attempted to launch and fill your programs. Whether you've been successful and it just like burned you out and you're looking for something different, or if you are getting ready to start filling a flagship group program through a more organized launch strategy, and this is your first time doing it, or if you are relaunching. So some of you already have groups. Some of you here, you already have a flagship, and perhaps you want to add an additional stream of income to what you are already doing to fill your launches. And perhaps this could actually be more effective and efficient for you over the long term. So whether you are, you don't have a flagship group coaching program, or you already have groups, but maybe it's not really structured like a flagship yet, or you've got courses, or you already have a group and you have already experienced or dabbled in some form of launching, this is going to apply to you across the board, okay? So here's what really makes the Launching Made Easy framework different, perhaps, than what you've done in the past, seen in the past, heard in the past, been a prospect in, actually. We've all been through people's funnels and launches, tons of them, right? So core pillar number 1, and this is where you want to start taking notes, the Launching Made Easy framework, it is an experience. So it kind of is like an online event in a way. It kind of feels like a bit of a, I'm not a party girl. I mean, I guess I used to be, but not anymore. But it kind of is like a party. You know, it's like people are gathering together, but what you're allowing yourself to do and you're allowing your audience to receive is a real live experience of you, of the community, of your body of work, of your personality, of your brand. If you have team, they're getting a sense of your team. They're getting a sense of how you lead. They are getting a really good sense of what it's going to be like to work with you, whether they end up joining the program that you're offering during your launch event, or if they join some other program at some point down the road. I've really found with this way of launching, which I've been doing this particular structure and strategy for over a year now, just on repeat, is that you cannot fake it. Like, you have to be real. I don't have a script in front of me. I do not have a teleprompter in front of me. Nobody came and did my hair and makeup. I've got one light in front of me and I've got notes on my workbook that I'm following. And it really lends itself to you really giving your audience a full-blown experience. The second word that I want you to write in that first core pillar number 1 box is intimate. You get to be more intimate with your community. So some of you have already noticed, and again, sometimes I can't tell who signed up and who you are on Facebook. So feel free to private message me if I haven't messaged you, but a lot of you I've already private messaged with. And again, not everybody, but a lot of you, we've already been kind of connecting with each other in private messenger. Some of you signed up for my chatbot Megster, which obviously you can tell what's automated, but I also jump in there as live Megan and we'll chat with people because you may have questions. Joshua is also here supporting you. You will see her in the comments section. Also, Elizabeth Galprin, she's our head coach in Momentum. So you're getting to really experience her. She's already messaged you. She's going to be messaging you throughout the week. So it's a very intimate experience. And what we're really doing here and what you're going to get to do when you implement this system is you're eliminating all of the degrees of separation that automation and internet marketing has really built, and it stands between coach and leader and community and the audience. And I am just going to go out on a limb and guess that if you're here, you're somewhat like me in that we're a little bit more sophisticated than we were years ago. We've been through the funnels. We've signed up for the webinars that we thought were live. And if you do enough investigating like I do, I can kind of tell that it was recorded like 18 months ago or 2 years ago. Not hard to find out. All the email sequences, all the slide decks, all the perfection, all the pre-recorded, pre-written, gotta be perfect. And we can smell a funnel from a mile away. And I'm not saying that what we're doing here isn't, it's definitely more of an organic funnel, but anything's a funnel, but I think you know what I'm talking about. But here's what we know to be true. I mean, you all are consumers. I'm a consumer. We're making our decisions in a much more different way than we were even 2 years ago when it comes to joining a program, whipping out our credit card, And we really are desiring to build a high level of trust with the service provider. This process of launching gives you that in spades. And it actually builds the trust factor really, really, really fast. In fact, we've had people go through our Launching Made Easy training series and not even hear about it until we're on like the 5th day, binge watch all the videos, and within 24 hours, they've joined our program Momentum. And that is someone who didn't know who I was like 24 hours prior. So it is insanely effective for that reason. Okay, core pillar number 2, it is very, very intuitive, and it is extremely easy to course correct. So just imagine, and I actually saw some posts and some emails about this year as well. Okay, imagine the big, like, I'm not going to say any names because you all can probably think of them. Like the people who are launching and they're having like multiple 7-figure launches, but they launch like 1 time a year. Okay, you probably have signed up for some of these launches. And I have some personal friends in the space where they launch their big program, whatever it is, course or program, like once a year. And their entire team, they are basically in launch planning, launch preparation, and asset creation mode for, I'd say on the short end, 6 months, but it's more like 9 to 10 or 11 months that they are in the creation process. Now imagine anybody who had been live, I just got a weird thing show up, and they had pre-recorded, pre-written all those things. They literally almost have to start over from scratch. So we never know what's going to go on in the world. You also never really know the personality of the group that's going to go through your launch, how sophisticated in the marketplace in your particular field or niche they are. You really get to know people in this way. You really get to look at your numbers and who's joining your program, but it's super easy to course correct because not everything is pre-recorded, pre-written, and you're not spending 6 to 9 months building the thing out. Core pillar number 3. This process is in exceptionally low tech and very, very high touch. About as techy as it gets is what we're doing right here. So there are definitely some wonky things going on with Facebook that has been for a few days. It is today. I happen to be using Be Live right now. So I'm streaming into the Facebook group. I'm using Be Live. You don't have to though. You can just go live from your phone. You can go press live video right inside your Facebook group. I'm using my laptop. I've got a little webcam up top. And that's my technology because I don't want it to be about the automated technology. I don't want it to be about the funnel where you're not even getting to know me and I'm not getting to know you. I really want it to be us really integrating together versus me hiding behind all of the technology pieces. So it's super low tech. It's very high touch. You're not going to see me with a bunch of webinar slides. You're not going to see me with all kinds of whatever's fancy, really anything. Also, I really love to showcase a very simplistic experience for you because here's the thing about all of our clients and all of your prospects in your community. If what you're presenting they think is impossible for them, the likelihood of them even getting to a point where they decide to work with you, it drastically goes down because you're making it look like it's so much harder for them to actually implement in their own business. And core pillar number 4 that really makes a Launching Made Easy framework a little different from a lot of the ways that you've probably tried in the past or that you've been trained to launch is you're selling one to many. And I know that that's not like necessarily, big news that you've never heard of before, but this is a very sustainable way to sell one to many. And at some point in your business, if you're really desiring to go to the high 6 figures and the 7 figures and the multiple 7 figures and beyond, you're going to be required to master selling at higher volume at one time. So this process is really allowing you to showcase your personality, showcase your ability to lead, showcase your ability to teach and mentor through live video, And once you've done this enough times, you really master how to sell one to many, which means there's one of you and there's many people. And when it's time for you to invite them to join your program, many people you will not actually even have to get on a call with once you really master this process. And it's really the intimacy and the experience and the live component that allows you to do that. So those are the 4 things that really set this process apart from a lot of the traditional internet marketing ways of launching, of filling courses, and of selling your stuff. All right, let's keep moving on to page 4. And you're going to see there's 7. There's like, it's numbered 1 through 7. You have some fill in the blank. And I'm going to talk you through what the Launching Made Easy framework is really designed to help you do and what it's designed to really help you with. So this is kind of giving you, it's not only is it, on a more surface level, I guess we could call it that, or on a smaller scale. Of course, this process is designed to help you fill your flagship program. And again, this process could be used to generate calls for one-on-one clients, if that's what you want to do. It could be used to sell a course. So this process, it can be used for all kinds of things. A lot of people who come to me, though, are also extremely interested in that flagship coaching program. It really is the combination. It's really the combination of your flagship group program and the Launching Made Easy framework together. So yes, it's to help you fill your programs, but bigger than that, here's what I want you to really, really see for yourself and for the growth and sustainability of your business. And here's what I want you to really see that's possible for you. It is the power of repetition. It's the power of repetition. And I know I didn't make up repetition. You've probably heard it before. But it is something that I talk about every single time I open my mouth to my clients. And you have to really give yourself a chance to focus on the power of one thing. And anybody who you've watched scale their business to high 7 figures and 8 figures, they got there because they focused on the power of one. So imagine you've got this main flagship program, whatever you call yours, and you're teaching your main signature methodology inside that program. And you are constantly filling new clients into that program throughout the year. And it's in place for a couple of years, few years in a row. And then the way that you are inviting people to join that program is through this signature training series, we'll call it. For me, it's the Launching Made Easy workshop. So I am basically showing up every other month. I'm teaching pretty much the exact same content. And what happens is you start to become known for, oh, she's the coach who does that Launching Made Easy workshop. I see her doing it all the time. You should go join her Facebook group. You should check that out. Then you start to become known for the name of your flagship program. And that's really the power of repetition. It's what slows us down the most is we are changing our minds about our ideal client. We're changing our mind about our signature system. We're changing our mind about the programs we offer. We're changing our mind about the way in which we are marketing and filling our program. And because we have, it starts to become like mixed messages. And then it's not helping us in the category of brand recognition or brand positioning. And if you truly desire, which I believe you do, if you truly desire to attract a higher level, higher end, higher paying, higher quality client, which really what that comes down to is that person is going to be much more committed, all in, and they are going to come in like feet on fire, ready to rock and roll, and they're going to be your best success story. So part of what's very important in your flagship programs, you want people coming into your programs who are going to get phenomenal results. And we all know I believe in going the extra mile as a coach. I will fight for a client until the cows come home. But the client also has to take the responsibility, and they have to be willing, able, and available to consistently show up and take the action and do the work to get the result that we're promising in our program so that they can experience that bold transformation. So this process goes deeper than just you making a bunch of sales. It's a lot more than that. So let's start filling in those blanks. All right. Number one, I've kind of said a lot of these, so we'll go through this quick. Number one, this system is designed to help you create brand recognition and positioning. And it will do that when you commit to repeating it. Like I said, I do this every other month. I do it every other month. Not something new and different all the time. It's this. So you become known for it. That's the power of the repetition of your message. Now people start thinking of you, not just of you, your name, like you're the magic, but it's your system that's the magic. I promise you that makes your life as a business owner and a coach so much easier when your framework, your system is the star of the show. I call it, it's really going to help you set up to be a league of your own. You're going to be in a league of your own, not just like competing and trying to claw your way up and be better than everybody else in your niche. Number two, this system is going to help you generate high levels of engagement and trust among participants really, really quickly. And it's so cool that you are actually dedicated to being here with me and everybody else attending in the Facebook group and on the lives or the replays, because you're actually getting to feel and you are getting to give yourself the experience. So you are getting to not only see what I'm doing and what our team is doing and how we support you, but you're really getting to feel what that feels like on the receiving end of it. I was actually I had a session with my Momentum clients, a training session right before I got on live. I promised them I was only going to go 60 minutes. I went longer. So I had like a 15-minute transition period. And one of the things that we were really discussing was this ability to give your audience an experience. And I think sometimes we tend to tell ourselves like, I'm going to bother people if I private message them, or I'm going to bother people if I'm too hands-on. Your most ideal client appreciates that. They really, really do. So I love that you're here because it's so important that you are making decisions in your business based on the perspective that your ideal client is actually coming with. All right, number three, the Launching Made Easy system is designed to help you deliver valuable, action-oriented content that can be implemented immediately by participants. So your fill in the blanks are action-oriented content and implemented immediately by participants. And you're really going to see that with the action items that I'm going to ask you to complete each day at the end of our training sessions, and you'll see that in your workbook as well. So this is a little bit more than just sitting back and listening and taking in all the information. There is an action step component here because you want your audience to really get in forward motion with your body of work. Number four, the Launching Made Easy system is also designed to help you spark a breakthrough or an epiphany for participants. So what this process really helps you do, because we're live, we're engaging, I can read the comments, I can ask you questions. You are literally giving me live feedback, sometimes when I'm not even asking for it, as you type things in that you're thinking of or responses to what you're hearing. So you are literally getting live feedback from people. And as you evaluate that each day, you can really see where your audience is at, and you can really pay attention to how you can shift their thinking. And I'm a really big believer for all of us who are coaches, or whatever you call yourself, a coach, a mentor, but I tend to attract coaches, mentors, service-based entrepreneurs, mostly coaches. And I believe our job is to help people think differently. So my goal here whether you decide to join me in Momentum or not towards the end of this week, my number one goal is that I will help shift the way you are thinking about what's possible in your business, especially as it relates to launching in this manner and really positioning yourself as the go-to, not just expert, but I want you to be in a league of your own. I want this process, when you follow it, to really have your brand stand out in a way that you don't even have competition. That requires me to help you think differently. And when you help your audience, that's what your audience is really looking for. When your audience, I'm going off on a tangent, when your audience doesn't buy from you, that doesn't mean that they're not buying from someone else. That I would write that down. If you've never really thought of it that way, just because your audience isn't buying from you, it doesn't mean that they're not buying from someone else. And we have all purchased. I'm in programs. I tend to be in more than one program at a time, just depending on what I really need and what I'm looking for. You all have taken programs before. You might be in one now. And again, you might join Momentum here at the end of the week. You are going to say yes to the leader who challenges you, who inspires you, who motivates you, but who also helps you think differently. If we're just teaching the same thing everybody else is teaching, and we don't have a different point of view on it, and we're not really focused on helping people think differently and have a breakthrough, they're just going to go hire the person who helped them have a breakthrough. So I really want you to look at your body of work this week and how it's going to plug into this system, and really start thinking and identifying, where do you have an opportunity to really help your ideal client think in a different way and have a breakthrough when you are teaching them your signature methodology. All right, number 5, this Launching Made Easy framework is going to help you build momentum for your participants. And here's what we know about, helping people get in motion and helping them build momentum. They're moving forward. And when someone is moving forward, they don't want to stop. And this is why it's so important, whether you call this a challenge, a training series, we're actually going to talk about that on Wednesday, what to call your launch event. But someone who is an ideal client, which means that is someone who has already been trying to get the result that you are promising them you're going to help them achieve. They're already probably like 80% of the way already there, ready to make the decision. They're already looking to hire somebody or find some kind of solution. When that person, not anybody, but when that person gets into motion and in momentum, the last thing a high-level client who's in it to win it is going to do is pump the brakes and say, oh, I don't want a result. I don't want a transformation. I'm just going to stay over here by myself and try to figure it out. I'll be honest, I kind of consider myself to be a high-level client. I don't do that. When I land on a mentor, a leader, a coach, whatever, and they are getting me to make progress at free and get into motion and momentum, the minute I pump the brakes, I'm off to the next thing and I'm done and I won't even implement that. Your best clients are going to want to continue working with you. And you have got such an incredible opportunity with this framework to show them that and to really help them get there, even for free for a few days. And it is a much easier yes when you invite people into your program, especially for your ideal clients. Number 6, the Launching Made Easy framework is designed to help you increase enrollment into your flagship coaching offer. So I know that, you might have groups, or you've had groups in the past, or courses, or what have you. And maybe you haven't hit your goal. Maybe you have not hit your enrollment goal and you kind of can't figure out why. I know for me, when I first started implementing groups in my business back in 2017, I would have this 6 week, a 4 to 6 week period of time where, and I had smaller groups back then. They were higher price point, but they were small and intimate. And I would give myself 4 to 6 weeks to fill them. And I was just kind of filling it one by one. And I was like, God, there's got to be a better way to do this. So, and I wasn't always hitting my goal all the time either. Sometimes I was falling a little short from that. So this process is going to help you increase enrollment, but on repeats. And I teach my clients how to do this so that you've got a program for you to have long-term sustainability in your business. You want something that's going to have recurring monthly income to the tune of multiple 5 figures, eventually 6. When you're getting on up into the 7-figure levels, you want your flagship. Like, here's the cool thing about your flagship program. I get so excited about this. It is literally the thing that you can constantly be enrolling people into. And you really want to get your flagship group program to be generating 80% of your income. 80% of your income you want to come from your flagship. And you really want to focus on building your flagship program out and implementing, enrolling people into it consistently, depending on what your goals are, until you get that program to about $250,000 to $1 million a year. $250,000 to $1 million before you start creating all these other little off-side courses, 297, tripwires, yadas, and yadas. Because if you've got all that going on, then it's really, really hard to have this like kick butt flagship program that is literally bringing in $1 million for you. And then finally, number 7 on this page, this process is really going to help you get to know your ideal clients in a more intimate and relevant way. So there's lots of ways I'm actually going to be demonstrating. So that's why I really want you to play this whole time with me and be a fun participant, right? We're getting to connect here. I'm getting to see some of your comments. I get to ask you some questions. Sometimes I forget to do that. And you get to respond, but it doesn't stop here. So I go back into the Facebook group. I go back and I comment on all of your comments. I'm reading them. I may private message you. My head coach, Elizabeth, is private messaging you and getting to know you. You're going to go take your action steps and you're coming back into the group and you're posting. I can give you feedback on that. Sure, we've got our reminder emails. Sure, we have our chat bot, but that's just to kind of make sure we're top of mind so you remember to show up. But it is really about getting to know you, getting to know what your goals are, getting to know what you've tried in the past and didn't work. I want to know where you're headed. I am very, very interested less in all the problems you've experienced. It's in the past. I'm very interested in where are you headed? What is your big vision for the next 3 to 5 years? Not necessarily how much do you want to make. That's part of the conversation, but I want to help you get there. I want to find out what that is. I want to find out what support you need so we can get you there. And this process really helps us build that type of relationship, and you're going to be able to do that with your audience as well. Cool? Awesome. All right. Last piece here. I'm going to get this done in like a hair over an hour, I think. I would love to hear from all of you so far. I've been talking a lot. What is your number one takeaway so far? From everything that you've heard, do you have a takeaway? Even if it's just one little tiny thing that it's inviting you to think a little differently, or it's inviting you to see what could really be possible in your own business over the next 12 months, 24 months, 3 years, or something that you've heard that you're like, that's exactly what I'm going to implement. So I would love to hear what your biggest takeaway is so far. I have a big gallon jug I drink out of. Let me scroll down. A lot of validation so far. That is amazing. Awesome. Starting my event tonight to open enrollment on Thursday. Sweet. And you're showing up here. That is some dedication. To always use the same name for my programs until becoming known for that. That is key. That is everybody, like that is such a writer downer. Again, people are changing tunes all the time. My job here is I really want you, and when I work with my clients, I mean, this is the thing that we focus on so much. You know, obviously there's something to be said about joining programs to learn information, but here's what all of us do as coaches and mentors and leaders. Our big job, I mean, one of our biggest jobs is to help our clients stay focused. We've all been doing this for a while, right? And when you're not plugged into a coach, when you're not plugged into a program, especially one that's going to hold your feet to the fire, if I'm not plugged into a coach or a system or a community in a program, which I'm always in, I'm not even going to be as focused. So it's really this other listening ear. It's someone who's not emotionally attached. It's staying focused, and it's staying focused on something that's really, really simple and sustainable. The quicker you will allow yourself to get on that bandwagon, that is going to be your fastest path. That will be your fastest path to your 7 figures and beyond, promise. My system is the star of the show. That's such a huge breakthrough for people, such a huge breakthrough. It also makes your content and everything you do so freaking easy. So easy, so easy when you make the system the star of your show. You're like the vessel. You're the personality in the vessel. Here's the other thing I'll say about your signature system. Your signature system is what allows you to scale. So I'm really big on strategy to scale. It's the signature system that allows you to scale from a marketing and sales perspective, also from an internal program delivery, growing your flagship, scale that. And also once you have a signature system, it makes any other offers you have like almost a piece of cake, because you teach your signature system in your VIP day, you teach your signature system at your live event, you teach your signature system to your one-on-one client, you teach your signature system inside your group, you teach a version of it in your course. It's all your signature system. The faster you'll let your signature system be the star of the show, your launches, filling your flagship, it's still work, but simplicity, my takeaway is seeing the bigger picture of my business and also to create brand recognition. Super cool. Awesome. Let's wrap it up here with our last little bit, and then I'm going to send you off to work on your action steps. And I see I'm 3 minutes from being on here for an hour. I'm going to make it in as close to an hour as I can. This is going to be like a first time for me. Okay. The Launching Made Easy system, it is effective. So again, it's like, this is not just another strategy. This is not just another tactic. You're either going to do this and implement it, or you're not. And if you're going to, it's going to be insanely effective when you are fully committed and on board with it, and you repeat it the way it's meant to be repeated. All right, I've got 6 things here. Number 1, it's effective because it's simple. I cannot tell you. You get how simple it is when you do it. The first time you do this, you're going to be like, Megan, this is not as easy as you made it seem. Well, nothing any of us do for the first time is a cakewalk, because you're creating it from scratch the first time. But guess what? You do it a second time, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the 10th, the 15th, the 20th. Same workbook, same opt-in page, same thank you page, same training sessions each day, same signature system, same graphics, same social media posts, same reminder emails, same replay emails, same invite emails. Everything is repeatable. That is the simplicity of it. We're not doing crazy reinventing the wheel. So this is going to help you stop making yourself reinvent the wheel every time you need to go make money in your business. So it's super simple. Number 2, it's effective because it's live. It's live. That's what makes this so effective, because you get to bring your full energy. You get to be so engaged and intimate and relevant with the people who are here this time. I used to be a classroom teacher. Was anybody a teacher? Did anybody have like a teaching profession before this? I was a high school teacher, and I taught 3 classes a day, and we would have 2 different semesters. And I taught 9th grade through 12th grade. They were all in the same class. But every single one of my classes, they all had their own unique personality. Even though I was teaching the same thing all the time, each class, each year, I had 6 classes a year, they all had their own personality. They all had their own hangups. They all came with their own set of issues. They all, some were quiet, some were playful, some were the clowns, some were the misbehaviors. And you really have to learn how to adapt to that. If everything is pre-recorded and pre-written, you don't get to do that. So this is super effective because it's live and it's super hands-on, which I love. Number 3, it's repeatable. It's repeatable and it's sustainable, and you can duplicate the process. And look, you are super smart. You're super intelligent. You're probably also super educated. Let's just all agree that it is common sense for us to be insanely effective and masterful at anything we ever do in our lives. We have to practice and we have to repeat, and we repeat the same thing. But you also get to evaluate and debrief, which I'm going to teach you that process later in the week. But you want to evaluate what worked really well, what didn't work well, what do I need to shift? It's not about reinventing the wheel every single time. It's the magic of repeating this process and allowing yourselves to be available for repetition, progress, and improvement. Before you know it, you will be having 6 and multiple 6-figure. Eventually, you can have 7-figure launches using this process. Number 4, it is sustainable. It is sustainable. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, what if Facebook goes away? What if Facebook groups go away? What if, all this stuff disappears? Again, it's live. We could move this whole show to Zoom. We could move the whole thing to Zoom, and I would figure out how to build the community piece in, right? We would figure that out. You could move this to any other platform. You could move this in person whenever we get to do that again. So the process, the tactic is the Facebook group. The tactic are the posts. The tactics are the chat bots. That doesn't sell your program. It's the strategy, the system, the simplicity, the repetition, the content, and you really revealing who you are in the most authentic, aligned way, and really engaging with and building relationship with your community and ideal clients. But you can take this show on the road if something happens with the tactics and the platform you're actually using. So it's sustainable in that regard. It's also, it doesn't wear you out. I'll be honest, you might be tired the first time you do this because you're not used to going live every single day and having a lot of people really engage with you at a very high level all day long. Because I end up going live. You'll see on I think it's Thursday. On Thursday, I teach you the whole entire, what do you do every single day? So get ready for that on Thursday. I'm going to break down what you're doing every single day in your launch. It ends up being a full 9 days. It's not like all day. So there could be a little bit of, I'm a little tired because I was talking and I had an adrenaline rush. But imagine if you do this process. I do this process every other month. That's 6 times a year. 6 times 9, I don't do math in my head, but I think that's 54. 6 times 9, is that 54? So 54 days out of 365 days to make $1 million? Would you be okay with that? To be live with your audience? Would that be cool with you? Would you be okay to go live 9 days in a row to sell out and fill your flagship program 6 times a year, just every other month, and make $1 million in a year? And I'm not going to guarantee you're going to make $1 million, but you can eventually. But what if you made $100,000? Would that be okay with you? What if you made $250,000? What if you made $500,000 in a year? Would you be willing to go live 9 days in a row, follow a sustainable process every other month, fill your flagship program, teach the same thing, mind you, every time you do it, generate leads in between, and have a 6, multiple 6, or even 7-figure stream of income? I'm on board with that. I'm okay with that. I hope you are too. Number 5, it elevates your signature methodology. That's the other reason why this is so effective. Here is one of the things that your most ideal client is looking for from you to make a decision. They're looking for your process. Ideal clients, remember, an ideal client, they're already trying to get the result that you help them achieve. They are already looking, they're already on the prowl. They are watching you, they're listening to you, they're reading, they may not be engaging with you, they may not even be liking, but they are looking to build the they already know about you, but they're looking to build, do I like this person? You'll know if you like somebody really fast The trust. Okay, well, what builds trust? Well, we know like client success stories, possibly your own success. Well, the other big thing that people want to know, because you've got to think about this from the perspective of the buyer. Nobody wants to buy something if the coach and the leader hasn't figured out the steps to go from A to B. Get me from where I am to where I want to be. People turn in the opposite direction the minute they think they're going to have to do hard work. And I'm not saying what I teach is like not work. You're going to have to work. But you want to know that I actually have a process in place. Your clients, one of the things they're looking for is, does she have a process in place? Is there like some sort of pillars or phases or stages or steps that she's figured out so that I don't have to figure that out? They're looking for that. So this elevates your methodology. What are you known for? What have you figured out? What are your phases, stages, pillars, or steps? And that's really what you're teaching here. Mine just happens to be a particular way to launch. This is my methodology. It's what we teach inside of our momentum program. So our clients are implementing this every other month. And thank God they've got us to have our ears and eyeballs on every single thing they're doing, me and my entire team. So we can, make adjustments and make it better the next time, the next time, the next time, and the next time. So it's yours, and it's not the only thing that we teach inside of there, but it's like the main thing to fill your flagship group. So your ideal clients want to see the same thing from you, because also following this system of doing it live, your ideal clients are getting such a sense of what those steps are. How many of you have ever bought a program and you were like sold a bill of goods, the marketer was great, and you thought you knew what you were getting, but then you get into the program and there's either no system or step-by-step kind of process in place, or it's not what's aligned and authentic to you. And now you're like, well, darn. So at the marketing level, I think it's incredibly effective to spotlight your methodology when you're launching, which is what I'll teach you to do. Your methodology just gets plunked down into these 5 days so that your ideal client knows what the heck they're getting when they join your program, versus you dropping $15,000 or 10 or 12 or 20, and you get inside the program and it's not actually the stuff that you thought you were going to be told to do. And then you don't want to do it. Like, how many of you have experienced that? And it sucks. It shocks me still to this day. The most recent one was like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. It still shocks me, and it shouldn't shock me. I've been doing this 9 years, but I'm still so shocked when people tell me I invested $15,000 in a program and I didn't even make $1. Or I invested 20,000. I've heard 10, 12, 15, 18, 20, 22, 30, and everything in between. And it's not that the coach necessarily sucks, but there's a lot of misguidance. And there's a lot of people who are phenomenal marketers, but what's being delivered is so incongruent with what was marketed. Not saying they're bad or wrong, but you really get to stand out in the marketplace following this framework and really showcasing your methodology, but also how you roll and how much you really care about people when they work with you. And I think more than anything, we all, myself very much included, we want to know that we're going to be taken care of inside of a program. We want to know that we've got access when we've got a question. We want to know that we're going to be fully supported. I'm not talking about dragging me through the mud. Not talking about you thinking that you're going to be drugged through the mud and you don't have to show up, but you get what I mean. That you're going to be fully supported with surround sound support. And this process really gets you to showcase, hey, this is what it's like to work with me on the inside. And if you think the free was good, just wait until you get on the inside. And I think consumers are really, really expecting and demanding that level from us as coaches and leaders today. All right, number 6, it's leveraged. Clearly, this is leveraged. It's leveraging your time. It's leveraging your expertise. It's leveraging your effort. It's leveraging your energy. So it makes it easier on you to follow this process consistently because it is very, very highly leveraged. So we are complete with the training for the day. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I went a little over the hour, so I appreciate you. I know that you have this in your calendar. And if you turn to page 6, here are your action items for today. I will be making a post inside the Facebook group. You'll see it's teal. It'll say action item number 1. I will tag you so you can find it easily. Don't be mad at me because I tag you. I just want you to see it. And I want you to work on this, and then you can come into the Facebook group, jot down your answers, your action items. But day 1 is all about you really deciding, and some of you already know, right? So some of you know, some of you, it probably needs to be more clear, we'll see. But in order for you to design the content of your actual launch material, which is what we're talking about all week, everything ends and begins with who is the ideal client? What is the bold promise of your flagship group offer? So what's the promise? When people buy from you, what are you promising them? The result they're going to achieve. What is your signature system you walk clients through in your flagship offer? And last question, do you commit to launching your flagship group program 6 times in the next 12 months so that you can generate a 6-figure or more income stream through one offer? Because if you're going to deploy this, it's going to work most effectively and efficiently when you do it every other month, because repetition, you're literally going to learn at warp speed every time you do this. So that's basically yes or no. I want you to keep your answers to those three questions clear, concise, short, simple, direct. We don't need stories. But the ideal client, your bold promise of your program, and your signature system, that is basically the guidebook that helps us figure out what your launch material actually is. Like, what are you teaching? Because you want the offer that you make during your launch event to be a no-brainer offer so that your ideal clients are saying yes to you with like no question in their mind that this is exactly what they've been looking for and exactly what feels really authentic and aligned to them to catapult, you know, themselves, their lives, their business relationship, their health, whatever you are an expert in. So work on that. Come into the Facebook group. Let me know your responses. And tomorrow we are going to talk about the first core, like the first main like pillar that makes this whole launching Made Easy framework work in real life. And we're going to talk about lead generation tomorrow because we need people to consume our content. We need the high quality people, high level, high paying clients to come and experience your launch event. And lead generation is really, really critical for this to work to your benefit and so that more people find out about your amazing body of work. So tomorrow is all about lead generation. We will be in touch with you inside of the Facebook group. You'll see reminders in our chat bot, Megster. You're going to get some reminder emails. If you have any questions for me or Elizabeth, your success coach, or Joshua, please do not hesitate to tag us in the Facebook group, private message any of us. We are here for you for the entire week. I would love to hear what you're learning, how things are going for you, and stay tuned for the whole entire week because it's just going to keep getting better. So thank you so much for being here with me today, and I will see you inside the Facebook group, and I will see you tomorrow live again at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Bye.